The Making of Take On Me, Part 2, the final version. One night in 2023, planning out my 60th anniversary celebrations, working out which ones would take hold and which ones wouldn't, and pondering the future of the YouTube channel, I was beginning to wonder how much I valued Take On Me, the video that had opened the channel in the first place. Would I ever be happy not making Doctor Who meets Take On Me? How much did I want to make the video? After thinking about it, I decided that I would be happier if I uploaded the video badly rather than never made it at all. I pondered what I would do in terms of the plot, how it would work, knowing that this would probably be the final chance to do it. What scenes in the previous versions worked that I wanted to keep? I kept thinking over and over about the War Doctor scene in the previous version, where each Doctor would turn up and fight the Daleks together. As I was thinking, this scene expanded in my mind to encompass the entire video. What if Take On Me was Doctor Who versus the Daleks? By making the video simpler, I was able to break it down. I came to the decision that I would rather upload a rubbish version of Take On Me vs the Daleks than not make the video at all. Whatever happened, I decided the video would be made. The plan was simple. Make the video easy to give you the best chance of completing it. There would only ever be Daleks, there would be no other characters, no companions. And scrapping the transparent layers idea, it would be drawn from hand, from scratch, just like the original Take On Me. Make it as close to the original as possible, and as simple as possible, bearing in mind that now it had to encompass 60 years rather than 50. I did a few simple drawing tests just to test if it worked, and having been liberated from the idea that I could fail, because I knew I would complete the video either way, I found that the drawing tests were actually better than they'd ever been. They looked much more like the Doctor and much more like Take On Me, and I found I would be happy uploading these. The video was set. In my research, I watched every Doctor Who episode I could featuring the Daleks, and every episode that I could regardless, to try and build up a picture of how best to represent each Doctor's era in what would roughly be 10 to 15 seconds per incarnation. One difference from Take On Me, which I stuck to from the beginning but I hadn't realised it, was that there would be no live action portions. When you look through the time window, which was the memorable part of Take On Me, it would instead perform a different function, and this allowed me again to employ more creativity. Each Doctor and each transition between Doctors could use the wall in different creative ways. Also, having done a TV production course and learning much over my time on YouTube, I came up with lots of different tricks, such as making sure I could flip shots to obey the 180-degree rule, and also changing things around, such as costumes, making sure that everything was the right way round, and making sure that continuity worked on a base level. Given that I was now using found footage rather than my own images, I would have to make sure that the continuity joined up to make several separate episodes form a full sequence. I started planning out the concepts for how each Doctor's story would work. For example, how would the 10th Doctor become Matt Smith? How would the bi-generation for the 14th Doctor work? What would Ncuti Gatwa do, given he hadn't yet aired any episodes? And I also put a lot of work in how I would include William Hartnell, given that I didn't want to overcomplicate the plot too much until about the 3rd Doctor. Did I want to incorporate the chase? Did I want to incorporate the Daleks' invasion of Earth? Did I even want to include Peter Cushing? And how would I incorporate into 15 seconds the plot of perhaps 3 or 4 Dalek stories and the plot of up to 3 to 7 seasons for an entire Doctor? I worked hard on the concepts and I worked hard on the animating, and over the course of an entire year, animating approximately 2,500 frames, I managed to create Take On Me. To show the actual drawing process, where I go piece by piece through the frame by frame animation process, click on the Making of Take On Me Part 3.